Yan. Yan, taktay dyan.
Yan. Kuya TC.
Pauline?
9 ko. Teka lang, excuse me.
14, 13, 20.
Okay. 10 po.
Okay.
Sorry.
Rolling.
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 Sir, pa-react muna dun sa Amnesty International report na sinasabing planned yung killing and bayad yung mga pulis.
May mga loose talks pero that's just about it, ano? And I do not know kung saan nanggaling yung report o yung information ng Amnesty International. But you know, accusing is one thing but proving it is another thing. Of course, kailangan mayroong ebidensya. Unless magpresenta ng ebidensya yung Amnesty International, it will just remain loose talks or rumor.
Pero sinasabi rin po nila na pwede rin mag-constitute as crimes against humanity itong drug killing sa Philippines kasi nga planado daw.
Well, yun ang kanilang contention, yun ang kanilang accusation or allegation. They should present evidence kung meron talaga. I'm not speaking in defense of this administration. Alam niyo naman, I've been also critical at times, ano, when there's need to criticize. Pero kung ganun ka-sweeping yung allegation or accusation, dapat suportahan nila ng facts or evidence. Ano. Hindi naman ganun kadaling mag-prove nung sinasabi nila.
Pero, sir, hindi ba mas mabigat yung implication or yung credibility since international organization ay nagsasabi na ganito?
Well, maski sino naman pwedeng maggawa ng kanya-kanyang investigation and sabi ko nga, hindi ko alam kung saan nanggaling yung o saan na hinugot yung kanilang conclusion. Ang importante, makakita tayo ng evidence. And that's the time na pwede tayong gumawa ng action being the legislature, ano, sa pag-exercise ng oversight function. But we need to see evidence. No? We need to see facts to support yung kanilang ina-allege. Coming as it is from an international organization like the Amnesty International. Kasi marami rin minsan, maski naman nakaraan, may mga accusations sila na hindi rin talaga na-prove eh. Wala rin, hindi rin backed by evidence. So, let's just look at it that way, you know, or in that manner.
So may dapat bang gawin yung Duterte administration para i-counter yung ganung negative na?
Well, it's up to them, ano? Kasi sila naman yung dapat mag-defend sa sarili nila. Ako naman, I'm just being objective and I'm not trying to defend the administration. But, you know, may implication dito sa buong bansa natin eh. Pagka merong ganyan mga accusations, we have the obligation to our country, our countrymen, to stand up also and, you know, ask for the necessary evidence para i-prove yung kanilang ina-accuse. And kung meron, that is the time that we should take action as a people.
Sir, kayo ba naniniwala kayo personally na may mga nababayarang police?
Well, ako may naririnig akong mga ganong rumors. Pero wala nga, maski kami nagsasagawa ng sariling investigation, wala kami makitang pruweba na totoo talaga na binabayaran yung mga pulis para pumatay. In the first place, hindi naman ma-justify sa budget ng gobyerno o sa General Appropriations Act yan. So, saan manggagaling yung pera?
Have you heard, sir, like even
Yes,
in the
as I
past?
said, meron tayong naririnig na, not in the past, but during this administration, meron tayong naririnig na ganong mga bali-balita, but it stops there. Kami mismo, nagsasagawa kami ng sariling investigation because of those rumors, ano, and those talks, na posibleng yung mga pulis, kaya ganong ka-enthusiastic, ganon na lang ka-porsigido, dahil nga, meron mga binibigay na pera, pag kami napapatay. Wala nga makitang pruwebe. Like ako mismo, kung may makita akong proof, edi during Senate hearings, during our legislative inquiry, ilalabas ko yun.
Sir, wala bang correlation yung parang dito nag-utos na stop yung anti-illegal drugs operations tapos bumaba yung vigilante kill? Wala kayo nakitang correlation, sir?
Well, sabi ko nga, commendable coincidence, ano? Dahil, di ba, gusto rin naman natin talaga walang mapatay yung mga vigilantes. At kung meron naman silang patayan, masob ng pulis. Ano? So, mabuti na rin. If at all, merong connection, may correlation, pasalamat na rin tayo na walang namamatay o kung may namatay man, kakaunti na lang. Hindi yung nagbibilang tayo ng at least 10 kada overnight, ano? Kada yung buong gabi, bumagdamag.
Sir, according to Freedom House, it also expressed worry like as what Amnesty International said. Pero may mention silang yung extreme policies daw ni President Duterte has a strong backing of Congress, of the Philippine Parliament.
Strong backing of Congress. I don't see that. In fact, kami nga mismo nagbubulgar pagka kung kinakailangan. And hindi lang naman yung minority or yung opposition members of the Senate ang nagtatanong at nag-uusisa tungkol dito. Maski kaming nasa majority at kaming tinatawag na alyado ng administration, kami mismo nag-expose kami kung kailangan i-expose yung ganong mga extreme measures na hindi kailangan.
Sir, may worries din, sir, with the President's order for the military to join the illegal drugs campaign.
Ayun, ako, I will stand up against it, ano? Dahil magkakagulo tayo pagka ang mag-check na ng police yung military, we might end up having armed people, no? Legitimate armed forces na naglalaban-laban. Remember, hindi lang naman yung armed forces of the Philippines ang armed force, ano? Even the PNP is an armed force. Kung gagamitin mo yung military against the police, mas mainam na yung magsagawa ng internal cleansing yung police against their scalawags, no? Mga members. And sabi ko nga, yung 40% na estimate ng presidente, that's an estimate of the number of scalawags in the police force. I myself won't believe that, won't buy
So
that.
how would you call that? How would you describe that? Destructive, deadly, or yung ganong klaseng...
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. So, if I may give again an unsolicited advice, mas magandang i-reconsider yung instruction na yon. Dahil very dangerous.
May legal basis ba?
Legal basis? Well, he is the commander-in-chief. And pwede naman siyang tawagin niya yung PNP o yung Armed Forces of the Philippines to take action. But sabi ko dapat i-reconsider yung order na yun dahil delikado yun.
So, ill-advise dun, sir, ang Pangulo kung may nag-advise sa kanya to use the military?
I would just say na dapat i-reconsider, i-rethink yung position na gamitin yung armed forces because after all, unless talagang merong malaking breakdown ng discipline na say 90% of our police force talagang scalawags na, then sino yung tatawagin mo? Yung 10%. Definitely, the 10% will be hard put na ma-defeat yung 90%. But as I said, I wouldn't believe na 40% ng PNP members ay scalawags. No? You know, my heart goes out sa ating kapulisan kasi talagang sa mga panahon to bugbog. Nagtatry naman sila to reform themselves. You know? Initiated by the leadership no less. They're trying hard to really reform themselves. You know? And ang attitude ko lang is let's wait and see. Baka naman merong positive outcome, hintayin na lang natin yung positive development. As I said, and I have said it repeatedly, alam ni General De La Rosa ang gagawin niya because he's been there. Alam niya yung ginawa namin noon sa pag-reform ng police. He was very much part of it. And I know, kaya niyang gawin ito. And I'd like to wait kung ano yung magiging resulta ng kanyang internal cleansing.
So, yung revival ng Philippine Constabulary, hindi yung dapat may...
Ano yan, mahabang usaping legal. In the first place, maliwanag yung ating constitution, di ba? One police force na national in scope and civilian in character. Maliwanag yon. Kung magpo-form ka ng Philippine Constabulary, magbabanggaan sa jurisdiction because siyempre ang Philippine Constabulary ng araw, national ang scope. Ang police ng araw, local. Kaya nga PCINP, yung PC, sila yung may national jurisdiction sa nationwide, ang police, territorial. Pero ngayon, since the 1987 Constitution specifically provides na ang PNP, one police force that is national in scope and civilian in character, baka magkaroon ng banggaan sa jurisdiction. Unless, kung nasa isip ng Pangulo, parang yung concept ng National Guard na pero pagka may calamity o kaya mayroong malaking gulo, mga demonstration na hindi kayang equal ng Philippine National Police, tatawagin yung National Guards. Kung hindi ganun ang concept, magkakaroon talaga ng problema. While it may not be violative of the Constitution, dahil hindi pero magkakagulo-gulo sa at least sa aspect ng jurisdiction.
So bakit kaya ganun ang thinking? Gustong itapon
I cannot read his mind as we all most of the time fail to read his mind, di ba?
Although sir, di ba pwedeng itapang military ngayon dahil under the state of emergency tayo?
Yung call-out provision.
Yes, sir?
Well, merong specific cases na pwedeng gamitin yung call-out provision. And yun yung may violence. So, but everything is relative. Kung interpretation niya, meron ng total breakdown sa Philippine, which I don't believe na meron. So, I would reiterate na sana ma-reconsider yung kanyang instruction. At gamitin na lang yung police to police their own ranks.
Sir, on other issues,
Yes.
ano pong dapat gawin dahil nag-announce na ng termination ng ceasefire NDA?
Well, unilateral. Mas magandang mag-extend pa ng konti yung government, magkaroon pa ng patience, and maintain the unilateral ceasefire ng gobyerno. And let's take it up or pick it up from there, kung ano magiging resulta. Of course, kawawa yung mga sundalo at mga polis natin kung unilateral yung ceasefire on the part of government kasi baka sitting duck sila rito dahil isa lang yung nagko-comply sa ceasefire. But yung peace process, ito naman yung isang gusto rin nating masunod at kung tatapatan din ng armed forces or ng gobyerno natin yung withdrawal sa ceasefire, mag-withdraw rin naman yung government forces sa ceasefire, bakbakan na naman yan. So, kasi ang negotiation, it takes a lot of, psychological elements involved. Hindi natin alam kung ano talaga yung nasa isip ng CPP, NPA, NDF nung nag-declare sila ng withdrawal ng unilateral ceasefire. Well, that's his prerogative. Kung gusto niyo mag-surrender, ako, gusto ko sagutin sa iyo, huhi. Dahil parang, hindi naman siya maka-avoid na hindi mag-surrender. Unless gusto niya maging fugitive forever. Because he has been arraigned and hindi naman pwedeng mandar yung kaso. Unlike in my case, while I fled, and I did not surrender, but I did not get out of the criminal justice system because before I disappeared, I asked my lawyer if it would be possible for me to be scarce, and at the same time, we could still file pleadings. And he said it's all right because there's an existing jurisprudence and very recent yung Supreme Court ruling na maski in the absence of a respondent, provided na hindi pa naman na-arraigned, pwede pa rin umandar yung kaso. So while I was not physically here to defend myself, I did not really get out of that justice system, criminal justice system, because I continued to fight my case, and luckily I won. But in the case of Cesar Mancao, iba yon, because he has been arraigned. In fact, he could be convicted or not acquitted. He could be convicted in absentia. Kasi umaandar yung kaso while he is out, but he has been arraigned. So, pwede siyang na-convict. So, I think it would do him well ngayong nag-surrender siya para ma-resolve talaga yung kaso either way. I'm not hoping for him to be acquitted. I'm not also hoping for him to be convicted. Ang sabi ko nga, matagal ko na siyang pinatawad as I have already forgiven all my detractors nung araw. Marami-rami rin yun. Kung napatawad ko na yung iba, why not Cesar Mancao? But I have always maintained, I cannot forget their names.
Pero sir, wala kayong information kung nag-resurface siya not necessarily to speak up against you, pwedeng kay Senator De Lima or...
Yung kaso ko wala na kasi Supreme Court na yung nag-rule eh. Na wala akong case eh. Well, it's up to him kung ano yung gusto niya sabihin. But, you know, the reason why the case against me was dismissed, one of the reasons, yung paiba-iba yung kanyang testimonies. Remember, sinabi na nagpabalay-balentong na yung nagkagulo-gulo yung testimonya niya. Hindi na malaman kung ano yung totoo. Because he changed tunes. Not twice, not thrice, but I think 4 times. You know? And the last time, noong when he was in hiding, he surfaced all of a sudden, invited selected media outlets, and even asked for forgiveness, hindi ba? Na sinabi niya, hindi totoo yung inaccuse ko kay Senator Lacson, which I maintain, talaga hindi totoo. No? Nagipit lang siya noong panahon ni former GMA, President GMA, to speak against me and testify against me. Yun, makikita naman ng korte yun eh. So, yun lang. He made my life miserable for 14 months, but I learned so many things. So, kung sa halip na mag-sulk ako in a corner, I would just, you know, think or treat yung aking miserableng buhay noon as a lesson learned. You know? Na may mga positive naman nangyari sa buhay ko. Nalaman ko sino ba yung tunay kong kaibigan. Nalaman ko yung mga plastic. Ganun lang yun.
Sir, so you think hindi naman siya up against you kung pag-surface?
Well, I really don't care. No? Kung ano man yung nasa isip niya sa pag-surface, I really don't care.
Pero it will not affect you anymore because tapos na nga po yung kaso niya.
At saka wala na siyang credibility. Sasabihin na naman niya na mayroong kinalaman. This will be the 5th time.
Pero never siya nag-reach out sa inyo all the time?
All the time. While he was in hiding, he sent his mother here, I think the sister, the wife. Lagi ko na lang sinasabi, napatawad ko na siya, hindi naman kami kailangan magkausap o magkaharap.
Sir, kasi sa Amnesty International, they name naman nila some of the families of the victims. They spoke out about...
Well, then they should speak out in the proper forum. Hindi naman pwedeng ang accusation is through media or through Amnesty International even. They should speak out in a court of law. Mag-undergo ng, if there are specifics, there are details, then they should go and see a prosecutor. They should be accompanied by their counsels. And in a sworn statement, siyempre kailangan properly sworn to, di ba, yung kanilang mga sasabihin. Otherwise, storytelling yun. Pero kapag ginawa nilang sworn statement, then there's something. And they should present additional evidence because marami naman nangyayari na sworn statements, hindi rin naman totoo. So, kung talagang meron silang case na gustong i-build up against the police or even against the administration, they should go through the process of filing cases against certain people. Okay?
But sir, wala pa rin hearing next week on offense of
Tingnan natin kung pwede magtawag next week. Kasi by that time, siguro may linaw na yung statements ni na Umlang, ni na Santiago. Mabuti na rin para masubaybayan natin kung ano ba talaga progress ng case. But then, February 3, di ba merong hearing sa re-investigation. So, binigyan lang naman natin ng parang breathing space para makapag kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin sa case. Hindi parang under pressure. But probably next week, we can schedule a hearing and find out from DOJ, from the PNP, kung ano na yung nangyari doon sa kaso. So we can also have closure. And the committee can now prepare a committee report na pwede i-deliberate sa discuss at board.
The last hearing na po.
No, not necessarily. Depende. Kung meron pang kailangan information, then we will conduct some hearings. If not, then at may closure na, then let's see. Total, today, nagfile na rin ako ng bill strengthening the IAS. We're also drafting a bill para bigyan ng mas malakas na disciplinary authority yung CPNP plus yung training. Ito naman yung components na napag-usapan dun eh. kung bakit mayroong parang failure of discipline sa police. No? Okay, thank you. Salamat. Tagal na lang napunta rito. Bukas. Ideya, sa ideya. Abos.